So I bought this kayak a couple of weeks ago. I've taken it out once, it was fantastic. I took it out again and one of the sides just kept deflating. Yep, I got a puncture right there. You can't even see it other than the sort of glue and residue of what I tried to fix it with. So not happy. So in this video I'm going to fix that puncture. Now I was looking on the internet for different solutions or different glues to fix it with. I found this product, and check this out, JB, oh yeah, JB Weld. So I didn't just buy it because it was JB, but I thought, well, pretty cool that it is JB, but it's actually for marine equipment, marine epoxy. So it's an epoxy glue. Obviously you mix the two glues together, and this looks like the thing I'm going to use. So it's great for boats, personal watercraft, in outboard engines, deck and hull accessories. Waterproof when fully cured, so that's exactly what I'm after. World's strongest bond as well, fiberglass, aluminium, metal, plastic, composite, wood and more. So that's definitely going to be good for the kayak. It's also got a tensile strength of 3,960 psi. Set time in 4 to 6 hours, cure time 15 to 24 hours. And I'm not too worried about this, but the cure colour is dark grey. Hopefully I'm not going to have any sort of seeping out the side. So I'm going to do this right now and leave it overnight to completely go off. One of the things the kayak came with was, I guess it was a kind of puncture repair kit, but not really anything permanent. I think it said something about it wouldn't be able to supply the glue itself for kind of shipping restrictions or something. So you do get some patches though, some patches of the kayak. So I've actually cut this. This is about a third of what you get in the red. You get some red and you get some grey. So this is about a third of it. It's plenty to cover up the area. So this is what we're going to use. I'm a little bit concerned though that the back side of this is quite shiny. You can see there. I am wondering whether just to rough that up a little bit. I'm going to rough up the surface of the kayak right now with a little bit of sandpaper. So just get a bit of an idea of how much that's going to cover. And it's a little bit annoying because you've got these joins here, which means it's not a completely flat surface. It's kind of layered like this, so it's a bit of a step there. I'm hoping once I've sort of clamped it in position it should be okay. So let's just get a little bit of this glue off, rough it up slightly, and we'll be ready to rock and roll. I'm just going to run the sandpaper over this a little bit. I think it will just give it a bit more of a chance to stick if that's got a slightly roughened up area to it. Now because of the texture, it does mean that I'm not going to be able to get it completely roughened up, but at least I can get much of it roughened up, which should just be enough to help the glue stick even better. Now if you're doing any kind of repair, do make sure that the edges or the corners are rounded off, and that will just reduce the likelihood of that catching and pulling off at some point. Right, so there's 4 steps to using this. The first one, prepare. So clean, repair area of dirt. So yeah, we've cleaned it and it's all ready to go. So mix, so that's the squeezing together of the epoxy, mix thoroughly, apply with appropriate tool in an even coat, weld bead or extruded shape as needed. So I'm thinking here an even coat over the whole patch is going to be the answer for this. And then number 4, dry. Sets in 4 to 6 hours, cures in 15 to 24, so don't really need to do anything for that. Right, let's mix it up. Okay, so we've got the resin and we've got the hardener. Now I'm not going to need a lot really. I don't want to end up mixing too much. So it is sealed, as you can see there, but we've got the little piercer on the other side of the lid there, so we just put a hole in that and we'll just do a little line like that. I think that will be enough. Nice colour. And then the same with the hardener. There we go. Make sure the lids are put back on really well, and then we're going to just mix this up. There we go, that's better. I really don't want to get this on my hands either. Got to be aware that I guess it is going to squeeze out a little bit under the resistance or the pressure of the clamps, the spring clamps. Make sure I've got plenty in the middle there, because that's where the hole is, which I obviously need to fill and prevent from air leaking out. Alright, so there's the hole, and we're going right about there. I know this is going to leak out around the edges, and actually it probably doesn't need a lot of pressure to push it down, because already it feels very sticky, very tacky already. Yeah, there we go. I'm pretty happy with that. So what we'll do, we'll put this here and this here, and we'll put the 2 clamps on there. Bring that down a bit. Right, there we go. Right, I'm happy with how that's gone now, so we're going to leave this overnight and we'll take a look at it tomorrow, because I want to use this at the weekend, so I'm hoping this is the way forward. Right, we are back on day 2. This has been nearly 24 hours. Now there is a little bit of spill or overspill leaking out here, and just feeling that that is absolutely rock hard. So let's go ahead, take this off and see what's happened. Right, here we go. Moment of truth. Okay, so first issue, our block stuck to it a little bit, but that's okay, that's come off easy enough. And yeah, that feels pretty well stuck on there, to be honest. Hasn't quite gone to all the edges here, which is a little bit disappointing. So it's leaked out here a lot, but maybe I didn't put enough on in order for it to come out here. Nonetheless, that is still stuck down really well. So I guess the thing to do now is get it out, pump it up, and hope it doesn't leak. Unfortunately, this didn't stick very well at all. You can see here that this came off quite easily. I was just having a little bit of a tug of it, and this came off quite easily. And although the product itself is, you know, it's quite flexible, it's also brittle if it bends too much, which is almost a bit of a contradiction really. But if you can see here, this is a piece of the resin, so it's bendy, but then it will snap if it's bent too far. Now this isn't great news because I've got a trip tomorrow, a kayak trip, and I was hoping this was going to be fixed, and I'm able to just peel this off. I've now exposed the hole where the puncture is, so gonna have to try this again. Now I have got lots of confidence in this actual product, but I think one of the issues were here that because you've got this seam, as I said earlier, that there is a bit of a step, and I'm going to guess that that wasn't pushing hard enough against the actual puncture here. So by putting this whole patch on, I've kind of not allowed enough pressure on this area perhaps. We're going to have to give this another go, and I'm hoping by tomorrow it's going to be fixed. I'm willing to give it another chance, I think. I'm going to give it another chance. So I've cut a much smaller piece here, which is going to sit inside both the seams. So the seams will be above and below this patch. I'm also going to use the other side of this, which is less shiny. You can, if I move that round in the light, you probably can't see any shine on it compared to this side, where you can definitely see it's still shiny even after I gave it a little rub down with some sandpaper. So using this roughened side, and this is definitely rough on here because this has been sanded a few times now, and it's a little bit annoying because I'm starting to ruin my kayak, but I'm going to give this one more go in the hope that tomorrow it's worked, because tomorrow is the day I'm going out. So fingers crossed. Let's get this mixed up again and get it on. this all looks a little bit messy and a bit of a bodge job, but I'm hoping this is going to solve the issue. It's not clamped down, it's just held down with sort of the end of the weight of a brick, and let's see what happens. I'm really hoping this is going to be alright for tomorrow. We'll see. I'm out of here. Well, here we are on the next day again after doing a second repair. It's been I don't know, I guess a good sort of 12 hours, maybe 16 hours, so it's nearly completely gone off. I'm going to get this out now. I'm going to take it out into the back garden and pump it up and see what happens. I'm not totally convinced about this product for patching a kayak or repairing a puncture like this, so yeah, this might not be the end just yet, but let's get it outside and let's do a kind of water and soap test to see if it bubbles away. Right, now I've got some soapy water, so we do the old water kind of soap test. See if anything is going on or leaking, and at the moment it looks okay. You can see there's bubbles on there, but they're the bubbles that I've created. Now the puncture was in this lower bit here, but I think for now we might have cracked it. Well, I am happy that this isn't leaking, because it is a glorious day and I'm about to go out and ride this thing with my younger son. But I'm just not totally convinced about it. I just don't think it's completely permanent. So this isn't the last you've heard of me, and as far as this goes, it is to be continued.